Happy Sunday out there, ladies and gentlemen, bad dinner guests. I'm here with my good buddy Shawn. We're here in the premiere pilot podcast of our sports show that we have yet to decide. We've yet to come to an agreement on a name yet, so that'll be
balls and walls.
At least one topic that we may end up covering. And you also just heard from our producer, Lou. He might be chiming in here every once in a while with some good stuff. But Shawn, I want to give you the floor, man. Your boys, your other boys, the Suns, they've been putting on an entertaining show in the summer league.
Yeah, they've been all the rest of them. So, complete draft class of this year. So, it just right now got the carries. You never know.
And they scored something like 121 points off only 4 assists. So
yeah,
that is, I don't even know what kind of basketball they were playing out there, but hey, it works. Definitely means you got an athletic team.
Right.
Speaking of athletes, you want to talk about Kev Love, or not Kev Love? You don't want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about Kev Love. Kevin Durant. Your boy.
Seems to be a popular topic. Everybody kind of pissed off about it. I don't blame him. I mean, I feel like it is kind of but I understand. I mean, family. Like, I get it. But a lot of team that won got tough.
Shit, unfortunately, man, I am only hearing about every other word that you're saying right now.
Motherfucker. That.
Huh?
Should I repeat everything? Or?
I mean, yeah. You should give it another try here. I'm hoping we can get this to be workable.
I said I don't blame Kevin Durant for being dude's pushing third. So I'm not mad at him. Decided to leave. But a lot of people feel like he could have took the team like he's Spurs. You know what I mean? He's got completely.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. I am not on the anti-Kevin Durant kick at all when it comes to this. If he wins a title, if he ends up winning 3 titles with these, there are people now that will say, yeah, he took the easy route. But in 10, 15 years, when all is said and done, people aren't really going to remember that he was a sellout or whatever in some people's minds. They're just going to remember the championships. That's usually how that works. So why should he have to? I mean, look, it's not the same as when LeBron left. I get that, but it's not the first time in history. It's not going to be the last time. If he wants to chase a title, let him chase a title. It won't mean any less to him or any of the other 14 guys on that team just because they teamed up. I can guarantee you that.
Well, if I can interject something, it's kind of sad that, Steph Curry and company are doing such a great job to bring back a positive energy to the game. What's wrong to want to be a part of that?
Well, some of them are bringing good energy. Shawn, did you hear about Draymond's recent issues?
I caught some bit of it.
You cut out a little bit there at the end, but I heard that you heard some of it. So what's recent? Draymond Green got arrested on assault charges.
Oh, shit.
So he continues his unfortunate streak of, I would call it bad luck. It seems like he
self-induced bad luck, maybe.
Yeah, he had the technical trouble, and brought a lot of negative light to himself in the playoffs, and then now this. I personally still think he's probably a good person and shouldn't be judged on a handful of incidents over, he wasn't a problem at Michigan State as far as we know, stuff like that. But yeah, but in general, what you said is true. It is a good atmosphere. Shawn, do you think that this makes it just a 2-horse race?
Say that one more time.
I said, do you think this makes it is this whole regular season and playoff just a preamble to Cavs versus Warriors round 3? Like, is there a point for any of these? I mean, we've seen an offseason with more moves than I remember in most NBA off seasons, but is any of it going to matter, or are they all just playing musical chairs for the 3 through 8 seeds?
That's kind of how I feel. I think they're possible. Definite. Sure. I mean, it's like very likely. I mean, like I think as a could be, like I really feel like the Spurs might mess around and do something here. Tim Duncan, so I mean they might. They're trying to get another title too.
Yeah, they'll maybe make some moves. I don't know what sort of moves they could make now. They may have to make a trade. The Sixers offering Manu Ginobili all that money really hurt the Spurs in a way, because it forced them to have to offer more money than they probably would have had to had no one else offered him. The Spurs are kind of known for building a dynasty on pay cuts. A lot of guys had to take less money to do that, so this puts them in an interesting position. I still think I heard it said today that there will be 3 teams in contention for the title as long as Greg Popovich is still alive, which I thought was giving the man quite a lot of respect. But I would agree, I don't think you can count the Spurs out completely yet. They still have LaMarcus Aldridge, they still have Tony Parker and Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard, and they'll find a way to add a couple of more veterans to that squad. So,
right.
But it's one of those things. Like, as a Pacers fan, let's take them for instance. They went and got Teague in a trade. They went and traded for Thaddeus Young. They've signed Al Jefferson, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, these are a lot of great moves. Like, too bad we didn't do these 2 years ago when there was a chance for us to maybe win a title.
Right.
It's kind of like now it just feels like, oh, great. It's going to feel really good to maybe get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Great. Thank you.
And then lose out on the draft picks that would have made a difference.
Exactly. And then you lose a chance to build a dynasty because you're going to constantly make the playoffs and not win. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess my next question for you, Shawn, is does it change anything? Are you going to watch – I think I will be just as, if not more, intrigued at the NBA this year because of its supposed lack of parity, because so many teams made moves. I'm going to want to see what happened and if it makes any difference.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to just different teams. I'm definitely interested to check out probably Minnesota. Like, they're looking. Oh, they made man like Chris Dunn, like that kid is out, and like he honestly looking back, probably be the ass. So yeah, I'll keep watching. He doesn't have to be interesting. I mean, like, they have players watch. Like, I don't need watch team or stack. You have a couple players.
Yeah. It's not going to change for me personally. It's not going to change how often I watch it. I I'll start by saying I don't have enough time to watch as much basketball as I probably would like to anyway. But I'm still going to, put as much time in as possible. Yeah, it's going to make for an interesting storyline. It kind of, it's intriguing to me that they're able to compete now with the NFL on that 24-hour, year-round news cycle. Now that the NBA is becoming almost as much of a year-long sport as the NFL.
Right.
Here it is, right after the finals are over now. This is supposed to be, the draft just happened. Free agency, this didn't used to be such a huge part of the deal. This didn't used to take up so much of everyone's attention. You used to read about signings in the newspaper, not have, all these big events every time somebody makes a decision. So it's pretty cool.
It is.
Speaking of news, did you hear about Brock Lesnar's news?
Yeah, he's going to start again.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it's funny, every person I've asked that to, their response has been like, yeah, do you want to ask me if I'm surprised? I don't think anyone ever took a look at that guy and didn't think, yeah, he's probably doing some steroids.
Right.
What was that, sir?
I said,
You said you're on roids? That's what you said?
I said, can you stop lactating?
You can't stop lactating. That's great.
All I heard was something about Brock Lesnar and Shawn lactating.
Yep. That is the tagline for the day's episode. But yeah,
Milton Shawn's Brock Lesnar.
Lou's giving you shit, Sean, but he's over here just paused a live broadcast of his Twitch account while he took a shit. So
Yeah.
Anybody who would be viewing it now when we put it on YouTube, there's going to be a nice.
They're gonna know that I took a shit.
30-second break where they're going to just turn off. So you might
To take a shit that quick, I should be commended.
Fair enough.
I didn't get any on my hands.
You may want to start a new video because no one's going to sit through that 30-minute pause to see what happens, or that 30-second, 2-minute pause to see what happens afterwards. Anyway, I digress.
They can eat my death claw.
I can give you shit for that in an hour when we go live. What'd you say, Sean?
That's just like quality white.
Oh yeah, I know. It's well, we're all about unfiltered broadcasting here. So if Lou wants to make people live wait for his shit, then I guess that's his prerogative.
Damn right. Call me Bobby Brown, bitch.
And this is what we love it. So Sean, what do you have? Do you have a baseball team that you go with? I know Lou is an Indians fan. I am sadly a Cubs fan.
There's a few teams I like. I'm not like a huge fan of any.
So there's not one. You don't even like have one picked out where like you're just more of a casual fan on that.
Yeah, I like one team.
Yeah, like who was that? I didn't hear the team that you said.
The Indians.
Oh, okay. So you're an Indians guy too. Okay, so that's cool. I mean, you guys got that going for you. As a Cubs fan, I am. It's too good to be true, and we're starting to struggle. And I am a non-believer. It'll take the Cubs hoisting the trophy for me to believe that it's real. And even at that point, I might scream conspiracy theory. So what? But the best story maybe for all time in baseball would be what? Cubs versus Indians in the World Series this year.
That'd be pretty sick.
That would be.
It would be like two of the best made movies. It'd be like Major League and The Rookie put together. Like the two best-selling baseball movies ever put together.
I thought you were going to say Yankees.
You want to see the Yankees win it all?
No, I thought you were going to say Yankees.
I was about to say, if you want the Yankees to win at all, I will slap you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, I was about to call you a dirtbag. Did you hear this guy? What's the Yankees?
Are you prepared to do a top 5 NFL breakout?
I want you. I am not prepared. So what I thought was what I could do is you give me your list, and I can come back. I can come back on our next episode with my list, because I have not even hardly turned an eye towards the NFL, and sadly, as far as it comes today, I've had no time for research because I've had to produce every podcast. Nobody else that we were working with today kind of knew how to run the software and all that stuff. So I've been married to my laptop today, but not in a sense that I could go research things. I had to be screen sharing and stuff like that. So and then I don't want to make a list. So now I'll have your list, and I'll make sure I exclude your list.
That's cool. Are you? I mean, you know enough about basketball. NBA Dream Team Start 5.
Oh yeah, I could do that. You don't need to do research. The one question that I had for you, because if you want, we can do a top 5. Save the football one for next week if you want to go in depth on a basketball one. My question to you would be: are we talking about modern only, like active players only, or are we talking about an all-time starting 5?
I was thinking all-time.
Because that's when it gets. Because that's a very debatable and arguable thing. So how do you want it now? What I thought might be a little bit more interesting, just to shake it up and throw us off our game a little bit, would be, why don't we do a fantasy draft, so to speak, where it's like, let's say Team Shawn has to take on Team Kevin in an NBA Legends pickup game. We have to pick teams that way, because and then maybe afterwards, if we want, we could do, just what our actual top 5 is. Because, chances are we might end up having like 4 of the same 5, and that's no fun for anybody.
Right.
Just say like, oh yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, me too, I agree. So how do you feel about it? Are you comfortable trying to do that?
We'll draft like 5 pieces.
Yeah, just you and me. We go one for one. I'll give you the first pick.
That's cool. My first pick, I'm probably gonna have to take Larry Bird.
Ooh, he goes Larry Legend with pick 1 now. But give me about half a minute here, Shawn. It's not even that long. I'm going to talk you through it. Shawn drafts Larry Bird, number 1.
Ooh, first round, first pick.
Larry Legend, my dog. So now Team Kevlar is on the board. Let's see. I don't know how I can go against. I think you guys both know where I'm leaning.
Jordan?
Yeah. My debate here is like, do I go Jordan or Wilt? And I'm going Jordan. I don't see how I cannot. So
yeah, right, you're going Jordan.
And because if I don't, then that means I'm giving Shawn Larry Bird and Michael Jordan.
Right. So, you can't do that.
Yeah, there are centers I can draft to match up to Wilt Chamberlain should I have put the idea in Shawn's head, but I can't do anything to stop Bird and Magic on the wing, or Bird and Jordan on the wing together.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie,
Did you say Wilt is where you're going next?
I mean, he's on my list.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised there.
Shit.
No, it's tough now. Because the different thing about this is we're trying to put a best 5 that we think would actually win a game against the other team. This is better than just saying my All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team. This is like, all right, now I'm thinking I have 5 people in the history of all time to beat this dude's one team of 5 people.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta go Wilt.
We're going Wilt to Stilt, huh?
Got to.
Well, so where you put me at a spot now, Shawn, and I'm going to, at the risk of betraying my own strategy, I feel like I'm going to just talk my way through my decisions, because if anybody would listen, then maybe that will bring a little bit of entertainment here. So,
a little bit of learning too for people who don't know everything.
And my reasoning behind it. So where I'm torn here, Shawn, you've got Will. So size wise, I should probably go Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to battle Wilt. But if you're thinking about in game as far as playing in the same era and somebody who could potentially match up, I could go Bill Russell. Now the problem with going Bill Russell is he's a lot smaller than Wilt.
Right.
But the thing about Bill Russell is he won 11 championships. A lot of those happened while Wilt Chamberlain was in the league, so Wilt really wasn't that big of a problem for him.
That was actually my backup.
That was your backup. If I had gone Wilt, you would go Bill.
Yes, sir.
Slick Willie Russell.
Nah.
Anybody I know named Bill is instantly Slick Willie. So
yeah.
God, I hope I have a son someday. I'm gonna name him William. Slick Willie Massing.
Slick Willie Massing.
Just like his daddy. No. So man. Oh boy. Yeah, Wilt. I'm gonna go Kareem. I wanted to go Bill, but I'm going to go Kareem.
Nice, dude.
Which, again, frees Shawn up to kind of do whatever, because he's got one more front court spot to fill as well. So this is where it's interesting. Is he going to go?
I feel like I don't think you'll pick any of the power forwards I have listed. I'm kind of maybe you did. I'm a little surprised.
Let's just go over one more potential ground rule. I didn't foresee potentially this happening, but so are we going where you have to take one person per designated position, or are we going a Warriors style where you just are picking the 5 guys you want out on the court for the 48 minutes? I.e., like if you want to use 2 centers, you can, or if you want to play 2 point guards, you can. How do you want to go about it?
That's how you want to do it.
Oh, I don't care either way. They both have their challenges. I'm wanting to know what you want to do.
I mean, I'm going each position.
You're going by position?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to make it more realistic.
Okay. So, yeah, because it's covering the history of the game, might as well use the classic format over the modern format.
Right.
So, okay. Well, that being said, you are still on the clock, sir.
I'm going to have to go Magic at the point, dude.
You go Magic at the point, you said?
Yep.
See, now this is where I'm running into issues. You have a bigger team, almost regardless of which way I go point guard-wise now. Now this is where it would have benefited me to be able to just go with positionless basketball and just draft 5 players, because I could easily draft LeBron James and stick him on Magic Johnson and watch that be just a stalemate on the court, be essentially the same guy playing each other. So
here's a mirror, motherfucker.
Yeah, so you've put some thoughts into my head. So where I'm going to go with it, knowing that there's a big drop off for me after Magic at point guard. I'm not even going to worry about drafting a point guard here. I'm not going to match up with Magic. So what I'm going to do is take the recently retired Tim Duncan as my power forward.
Nice, dude. Yeah, there.
Yeah, I really wanted to go ahead and get him off the board because I think he gives me an advantage at power forward over just about anybody, knowing that Shawn's not going to draft Shaquille O'Neal to play power forward, If that had been an option, I probably would have drafted Shaquille O'Neal to play my power forward.
Right.
Maybe. I might regret that now. They're taking Shaq over Kareem.
I'm going to go ahead and draft him.
Although Kareem was a beast.
Right.
You know that dude killed a lion with his bare hands?
Who did you say for your shooting guard, Shawn? You're cutting out there.
I'm going Iverson.
Going Allen Iverson at the shooting guard. Okay, well, you gave me some of that size back, and I appreciate that.
I promised it.
Like,
I don't care if he's tiny or not.
No, it's great. It just would allow whoever you know what? I've just added one last wrinkle. Let's say 2 last wrinkles. You gotta draft. You get to pick one extra player to come off the bench, and you have to pick a coach.
Oh, nice.
Great coach. How you feel about that?
I like that. Let's do it.
Yeah, add a little touch to it.
Right.
Because the way we've done this draft now, it's like a matchup maker's dream. Like, if you got to be a scout for either one of the teams and your job was just to break these matchups down, oh man, I'm going to my happy place just thinking about it. Anyway, so what I have left, I have my shooting guard and my front court locked up. So I need either a point guard or a small forward. So small forward is where it's at, and I have to just take it. I already mentioned it already. I have to take LeBron James. I mean, if he's sitting there, then that's what's up. That's where I got to go. And this leaves Shawn left. Now you, Shawn, have your power forward left. That's where you're sort of locked in for this next pick.
Yeah, this is tough. So hard. Charles Barkley.
See, going Barkley power forward. All right, he was my backup plan if you had decided to go Duncan. But that's why I went Duncan as soon as you went Magic Johnson, because I was like, I'm going to be at a severe disadvantage if my power forward is shorter than his point guard. So I had to. You forced my hand, which is part of the fun. That's why I like doing it this way rather than just say, like, well, here's my top 5, you know?
Right.
So you've left me now with a point guard decision, and so my gut tells me Isaiah Thomas.
That was my backup, dude.
Is that your backup? Yeah. So
yes, sir.
I don't know that I can go. You know, I'm torn between Isaiah Thomas and John Stockton.
I felt it.
And I think
I thought about it.
Right, exactly.
2 players at each position on my list.
Say that again.
I said on my little list, I have 2 players at each position.
That is awesome.
Well, I figured in case we did like back.
Right. You're cutting out again on me.
I'm just saying it. Just control the animal. On this fantasy.
So yeah, I've got. I'm just gonna. Oh man, I don't want to do it. I don't even want to make this decision. I'm going Isaiah because John Stockton would not be able to guard Allen Iverson. He wouldn't even be able to come close. So I got to go Isaiah to round out my 5.
All right. Do you want to do a recap of your picks?
Yeah. I'll give you a recap of the picks before we go on to pick our bench player and our coach. So, Team Shawn at the point guard, Magic Johnson. Shooting guard, Allen Iverson. Larry Legend rocking the small forward. The round mound of rebound at power forward, Charles Barkley. And Wilt the Stilt at center. Captain Kev came with Isaiah Thomas at the point guard, Michael Jordan at the shooting guard, LeBron James at the small forward, Tim Duncan at the 4, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the 5. Regrettably, I'll admit, there's somewhere else I would have liked to have gone, but I'll shelf that because there are still picks to be made. Shawn, you have the honors, my friend.
This one's tough, man, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go Ray Allen and shoot.
Ray.
Yeah.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. He got game.
Yeah, he did.
Uncle Ray Allen. All right, man. That kind of spoils because I was almost going to do just like a real homer pick and just say Reggie Miller would come off my bench because he's just my favorite player of all time. And screw it. You know, just throw in a little bit of that bias. You know, what's good radio without a little bias? But, man, I'm thinking about just one guy I want to come off the bench. You know, I'm going to put Scottie Pippen as my bench player.
Nice.
Because I believe he could realistically come in and play a sort of Draymond Green role for me. If I absolutely needed it, because I have LeBron and MJ, Scottie could run the point guard defensively. He could play the shooting guard, obviously the small forward. He could even play the power forward with being as you starting Charles Barkley at the power forward. So Scottie could come in and guard anybody on the floor not named Wilt. And so that's why I'd have to go with him as my bench. He'd be my Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, dude, sounds like
Swiss Army homie.
And that's why I would take you to the streets, son. I don't know if that doesn't really mean anything, but it means something to me. I'd take you out to the streets.
Take you out to the woodshed, boy.
Take you dancing.
I like it.
Well, but it's still not. It's not like it's over yet though, because there's still the coach, and
Right.
you've got the coach rolling.
You want me to pick?
Yeah. Yeah. You're up. You're still up first. So
Okay. I'm about to go Pat.
did you say it? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Pat Riley on you.
Ooh, Pat Riley.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not mad at you. Now, I bet you guys think I'm going to go the Zen Master here, huh? Go Phil
No.
Jackson. No, do you think I'm going Popovich?
No, I was thinking you were I can't even think right now.
Phil Jackson.
No. The dude flipping over chairs.
Oh, you thought I was going to go Bobby Knight?
Yeah.
Just say screw it. I'm going because I was actually.
I would put all these divas on a team and have the biggest asshole in coaching history.
Yeah.
coach them.
I was gonna throw that curveball. You actually you blew up my spot, man. Because I was gonna have you guess a bunch of NBA coaches and be like, "Trick, I'm picking Bobby Knight. It's my all-time team. I can do what I want." But so if I have to pick a guy that's not Bobby Knight, I would pick. Oh, and this is such a tough one because there are some coaches that I love. Like Larry Brown, I think is a great coach.
I almost went Coach K.
You almost went Coach K, yeah. If I'm going Popovich, honestly. He's had the same knock against him that you could have against Phil, and that is that he won. He's always had Hall of Fame caliber players on his team, but also he's had a lot of different moving pieces, and that team, regardless, there have been plenty of teams that had at least one Hall of Famer on them that didn't consistently win 50 games each year, no matter what. And most people agree that the Western Conference is the harder conference, and the Spurs are a big reason that you even say that. But the fact that they do that in the tougher conference every year, they're winning 50 games. I mean, that some of that has to be coaching, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, brother, man. Well, I'm glad. That was a fun exercise. We got to do some more stuff like that. Make it more interactive. Maybe that's how we do this. You can. Well, I'll come up with a top 5 list, but what I'd like to do sort of is apply this concept when on our next meetup to maybe the NFL draft or the NBA draft, and just out of the pool of rookies, who would we take on our team? Just going round for round like that.
Yeah, we could do like a 7-round draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like draft a 7-on-7 squad.
Right. That'd be dope.
That would be that we'd have to make it 8-on-8 because we'd be talking about like 7-on-7's a different game, so we'd have to give ourselves. We'd each have one quarterback because they wouldn't play both sides.
Right.
So like how that could be kind of fun, just picking like you get to pick 4 wide receivers or corners. Like you get to mix and match. You know what I mean? So if you had so you could use. Yeah. Anyway, we could get into potential. That's something for you and us to discuss. We won't have to subject the listeners to our brainstorming. But yeah, man, it's been a great episode. Is there anything else that you want to touch base on? I know I'm creeping late on our time slot here, and I know it's getting late for you and me as well. We got one more episode coming tonight.
I'm good, brother. Pretty much touched base on everything I'd had to talk about.
Nice. So, we'll pose the question to the future audience. We're gonna put it up on Twitter and everything. We're trying to come up with a name for this show by the time we do our next episode, and if we're going to try to do someday during the week. So Shawn and I will get together. We'll figure it out. It may not be a set day, so you guys just check in on our YouTube channel or Bad Dinner Guests at Twitter, because when DeJean comes on as a guest, it may be on Tuesday nights. We've got a revolving door of shows right now, so we hope to get to a set schedule, but just stick with us in the meantime as we continue to explore new content. Shawn, it's your brother. Thank you for doing this with me. I'm so glad that I have a partner in crime for this sports podcast, man. We got good. Yeah, I'm glad you're pumped about it. We got to get in the same room maybe for the next one, so we can vibe off that energy.
Right. That'd be dope.
Anyway, well,
it wouldn't be complete unless I said something inappropriate. What you wearing, Shawn?
Your mom's undies.
Ooh.
Even better.
Bang.
Make sure you shit your pants in those.
I always do.
Damn right.
Man, you guys, my brother's listening to this. No.
I never.
can't. I can never prove to my family I actually do this.
And I have friends.
Yeah, they think you guys are imaginary. But I'll stop our rambling. Good night to everyone. Thank you for joining us on another premiere episode. This has been our Untitled Sports Podcast on the Bad Dinner Guest Network. Shut